today we have some information about our two sports clubs in the town, Castledermot GAA and Castle Villa. So we have representatives in. We have PRO from the Castledermot GAA coming in to talk to us. Sharon Hennessy, she's here with us. Hello, Sharon. How are you doing?
How are you, Leo?
We're going to be just outlining a few procedures coming up in the next few weeks, and Sharon will explain all the ins and outs of the club opening back out. So, Sharon, you can start off with your first procedure if you like, and I'll just adjust your sound while you're talking, so off you go.
Okay, well, before anybody kind of comes into the club, they have to complete a bit of homework on an e-learning website. It's just basic common knowledge about COVID-19 and preparations we can take to kind of keep it out of the club. When they finish that, they just take a screenshot of their certificate. So they just show it to their COVID. Each team will have a COVID officer, and they just show that to the COVID officer. And every player in the club will have to complete a health questionnaire. Just make sure everything is on track. And that's perfect. And when do you see matches resuming and getting back to some sort of normality in the club? Well, the seniors started back training last Thursday, so there's going to be a few practice matches, but the EMS Senior League will start the 18th and 19th of July. Perfect, yeah. And is there a special kind of procedures for training as well? Is there distances at the minute, or is that being relaxed? At the moment, everybody is just training and going. No contact? No, and there's no clubhouse, there's no anything like that. You just literally come. You go before you go. Exactly. Yeah, okay, yeah, that's fair enough. So. Yeah, okay. And good news for Cool Camp. Is that going ahead this year? Well, it's fantastic. It's great for the kids as well, because the kids have had no school, they've had no crack with their friends or whatever. So Cool Camp is on the 17th to the 21st of August. Yeah, and kids how did they register for that? Or you can register online through the Kellogg's Cool Camp GAA.ie. It's €65 for the week. It's fantastic value because you get a kit as well and a bag and whatever, so it's fantastic. Yeah, perfect. Yeah. And also the lotto back. Yeah. Great. Much needed funds. Absolutely, it keeps the club going. And have you a few details of how you can get your tickets? And as like we would have been selling tickets here in Doyle's, so obviously we won't be selling tickets for the time being. So where can you get them? And absolutely through the Club Force app, you can play online. Yeah. You can play in any of the shops that are open. So Gorman's, Horns. Go on, give them all a plug. Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's the job. You can play in all those. Just what we're just asking people is maybe even think ahead and just bring a pen and write your numbers out and whatever, think ahead. Yeah. But yeah, we're looking forward to it. We won't be live streaming. We're not that brave. We're not as brave as Castle Villa yet. Well, but you might be doing it soon. Once the bars are open and the lads look a bit better. I know a man that might be able to help you out. Right. But yeah, and also the ladies footballers last year. Anything to say about them? Will they be back? Are they going to improve? Are they going to stay together? You can't improve that much. Yes, there you go. That's it. Yeah, look, the girls are great. It's fantastic. I presume they're back this week now. Well, we'll have to see about that. Anything you'd like to add to that before we finish? We're not going to keep you too long because I know you're busy and you have a few vans to get sorted out for Fuzzy and all the rest. But anything else you'd like to add to? Look, it's great to be back. It's been a long time closed. It's not, it's not good for everyone. So it's brilliant to be back. Just want to thank everyone who supports us. We had a fundraiser during the lockdown for Do It for Dan, and it was absolutely fantastic. Great. So we raised €1,500. Nothing to be sneezed at. Absolutely, so it's fantastic. So just everyone support us and just the great support we always have. And I'm sure all details will be up on the website and on their pages and the Facebook pages and all that, absolutely, so people can Facebook just look over and it's full of information. So just perfect. Tune in. Okay, you done? I am happy enough. I am indeed. Okay, look, thanks for having me. No bother. Big thanks to Karen. Actually, you've made history. The first interview we did on is it Radio Castledermot or Castledermot Radio? Hold on, have to have a look. Yeah, Radio Castledermot. Yes. Big thanks to Sharon Hennessy, PRO for Castledermot GAA, and all those details she's given out will be up on Facebook and their website. So once again, thanks Sharon, thanks a million. Cheers, thanks a million.
Yes, there you go. Radio Castledermot this Saturday evening. Very good evening to you. Welcome indeed. We're going to have a chat to Alan Proctor, who is the club secretary of Castle Villa Football Club. Alan, you're very welcome indeed. Thanks very much for coming in.
Thanks very much, Fuzzy. Thanks for having me.
We got your microphone. Just shout a big hello there and make sure
Hello.
we can hear you. That's
Can
it.
you hear me in the booth?
We can hear you there now. I think we'll just get Leo maybe just to double check that to make sure you're A-OK.
No.
Is he turned up? There he is.
No, thanks for having me.
Great. You're very welcome. Tell us, before we move on with a couple of questions for everybody, tell us a little bit about Castle Villa Football Club, if you would, please.
Okay. Well, we celebrated 50 years last year. We were founded in 1969, and we're very proud to have a great night last October. A lot of people watching tonight were in celebrating with us. We have two men's senior teams. We have a ladies senior team returning to the club this year as well. And we have 5 underage teams and an academy team as well. So numbers are growing all the time, we're glad to say.
Yeah, the future's good then, yeah.
Yeah, looking good.
Yeah. Okay, let me ask you a couple of questions. How has the lockdown impacted the club?
Well, excuse me. Well, I suppose like the GAA, like every other club in the country, it was just a complete shutdown. You know, the two men's senior teams and the women's senior team were ready to start the season at the end of March, start of April, and that was completely, the plug was pulled on that. The non-competitive underage, so up to under 11 plays summer season as well, so they didn't get a chance to start either.
Okay.
And then the guys from under 12 up to under 18, they were sort of, the plug was pulled on their season kind of 3/4 away through. So 2 of the teams, the 15s and the 18s, one was in a semi-final of a Shield, one was doing sort of reasonably well in the league. But the real triumph at underage this year for us was the under 13s winning their league. So they've done really well. There's one of the teams that went to Barcelona last year, so
Great
it's
stuff.
a big build from there. And so congratulations to John and Johnny and all the lads. You know, they've done really well.
Well, that's great. That's
Yeah.
great. What has the club been doing during the lockdown?
Well, you know, options, they were kind of limited for the first number of weeks. We couldn't really do a whole lot. We postponed, there was no training, no games, no fundraising, no lotto. As the restrictions kind of lifted and we got directives from government, from our governing body, you know, we started, like the GAA, we have this online training course as well. It's a slightly different setup, but it's essentially the same thing. A lot of common sense involved, a lot of sort of hygiene instructions and how to administer the pitch, you know, for training sessions coming back when the lads do come back. We've appointed compliance officers for each team as well. You know, we're keeping track. We're back now training last week with the senior teams. So they've been back 4 nights now. Senior ladies came back last Wednesday night. So as the restrictions were lifted, we're gradually getting back to normal. We got the fundraising back up and running. We've had nothing coming in for months. So we got people know, we got the lotto online 4 or 5 weeks ago. So we're going to be doing that for another couple of weeks, and we'll be back to normal with that then again, you know.
Okay. Well, I'm going to play a bit of a tune here before I ask you one more question, because I know this old tune is very big heart to all the club.
I'm not singing it.
You don't have to sing it, but I'm going to play it anyway. Just no harm, just stick it in there. You know. You can sing along at home there before we get the final question into Alan.
Everybody's got the right to go wrong. Everybody's got to sing my song. Everybody's got the right to go wrong. Sing my song, sing my song. Oh, glory, oh, now I'm the Lord's disciple. Oh, glory.
Yes, that was a Dubliners, of course. Hand Me Down the Bible. So, Alan, why is this song attached to Castle Villa? Can you tell me?
Well, there's 2 versions of it for a start. Well, there's one that probably everybody knows, that Pat Costigan sang it after winning a league or a cup final years ago in in the Granite, I think, and it just kind of stuck. Everything we won, then we sang that song in the Granite, Leo. There's another version that probably Ross Coleman knows, which is not for maybe public consumption.
Okay.
It might target a few other clubs and that, but there's a bit of crack in it, you know. But it's all down to Pat Costigan, and every time we ever won anything, Pat got in and gave it socks, and everybody joined in with him, you know.
No, fair play, fair play. So tell me this before we let you go. What plans are in place for the club to get up and running on and off the field?
Well, I suppose off the field, there's a mountain of work going on behind the scenes. You know, people don't realise the amount of work that goes in from an awful lot of people to keep a club running, especially when something as unexpected as this happens, you know. There's libraries of paperwork and stuff that we have to do to make sure that everything is kept in order. Fundraising will be coming back on stream now shortly too, which is very important for every club in the country. We'll have a golf classic coming up in September, on September 13th, out in Kilkee Castle again. We're glad to be back out there again. Then on the pitch, like I said earlier, the guys are back training now. The 2 senior men's teams are back training. The girls' teams are back training. We have a definite start for the senior season, which is the 2nd of August.
Okay.
The underage, it's being worked on at the minute. The KDUL had a vote last week. So the 19-20 season, the competitive season from last year has been finished first. And then there's going to be a very short break. And then those seasons will be restarting then, looking around the first week of October, somewhere around that time. So hopefully then by October, November, everything will be back running smoothly, you know. So
you have the COVID officers already in place?
Yeah. That was probably the first thing. We were given every club, every junior football club in the country was given a checklist to return to the FAI. And the first item on it was appoint a COVID compliance officer. So Michael Brennan stepped in and doing a fantastic job on that, keeping brilliant records. He's been assisted by 2 or 3 others as well that are keeping great. We have to keep the records right, you know.
Okay.
So yeah, Mick's doing a good job there.
That's great. And finally then, before I let you go, for any young kid, boy or girl, whoever wants to start playing soccer with Castle Villa, what do they have to do? Who do they contact?
Ask any one of us. We're contactable by Facebook. There's phone numbers. I'm sure the lads will be able to get up on underneath these videos later on. Any of the current players, if you're a young fella walking around and you see a fella with a Castle Villa tracksuit, stop him, ask him. You know, we want to get as many kids up there playing football, because the kids that start playing now are the guys that's going to be singing Hand Me Down the Bible in 10 years' time down here. Yep. You know, so the kids are the important thing. As important as the senior team is, and we want to see success all over the club. But
they're the future.
Absolutely, yeah.
Absolutely. Well, Alan, I want to thank you so much for coming in and talking to us today. And we take this opportunity here on Radio Castledermot to wish Castle Villa the very best of luck for the season ahead.
Thanks very much, Fuzzy.
That's it. Alan Proctor, Secretary of Castle Villa, coming in to have a few words with us. Thank you very much, folks. We'll be back shortly with plenty of music.